Welcome to Artistic Adventures. Today we're talking Miniature Mania. I'm going to show you a few of my favorite little miniatures. Here we go. Hey guys. So this is week 5. Yeah, 5. And hopefully by the end of this week on Friday, I'll be getting this cast off. Yay! I cannot wait. I cannot tell you how much this is bothering me. I'm so sick of doing things with my left hand. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to show you guys some things that I've collected recently. Just little miniature things that I found intriguing and that I hope you might enjoy looking at until we get to our next project. So here we go, Miniature Mania. Yes. Oh, but before I do, I wanted to show you this little shirt. I received this after our last video with the Blythe haul. It came from Handflower, and it's a cute little Hawaiian print shirt. Yeah, really cute. And also received from Momo Jojo this really pretty little romper with a shirt and then the boots, which are really adorable. And has a little robot charm on a chain, which is kind of unique. I thought it was really nice. So let me get this girl back over on her seat. It's a little hard because she has the movable joint body. I got it from Sweet Tiger. It's probably an A-zone body or something similar. Anyway, it makes her very unwieldy, and she won't stand in the regular Blythe stand. The other girls still have their regular Blythe bodies, so they do. She's just kind of top heavy. I don't know. I hadn't quite figured her out yet. But anyway. They're modeling all their outfits, and Eggley, you'll see one of them has your hat on that you made, which I really love. So there's the girls modeling all their new outfits. So now let's get into looking at some of the miniatures. First of all, this little cow outfit that came this week, I believe it came from Handflower also with the shirt, and I thought it was really cute. I haven't seen a lot of those animal outfits for the Petite Blythes, so I really wanted to have one. And so now my little girl has her cow outfit. I think it turned out very, very adorable. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this house. I bought this as a kit. I originally bought it because I thought it would be a nice house for my Petite Blythes. And let me get you in a little closer and focused so you can see it. Has a lot of detail, and that's one of the things I liked about it. And I didn't really enjoy putting everything together because some of it is very, very tedious. So some of the pieces that came in the kit are not actually in the house because I got tired. I just got tired of it. Okay? It wore me out. But it is adorable. It really is. And I really wish that it had been the right size for the Petite Blythe. But as you can see, Petite Blythe is too big. She does not fit in there at all. Now, some of the items are maybe the right size, but for the beds and all that stuff, it's not. It's probably more for like 1/12, I guess. But it's cute. And if you like putting these sort of things together for the joy of, putting it together and seeing the final result, or if you have a 1/12 doll even, all of these things you put together, like even the little flower pot there, you have to put it together. It doesn't come put together. The little books you have to put together, all the little flowers, and you have to cut out the pictures and put the frames on the windows, and you have to put all the furniture together. It doesn't come in a whole piece. It's all little tiny pieces. And if you were like me and you didn't read the directions, sometimes you made mistakes. But sometimes I get excited and I just start doing things. But it's cute. I mean, it did have a light actually that came with it over, and one on the wall and a chandelier that actually light up. But I got tired of it before I finished that part of it, so it doesn't have the actual lights. But it's something fun if you really like doing this sort of thing and your fingers are very nimble. You would actually need two hands for this, not one hand like I have now. But I did this before I did my petite Blythe habitat. Here's how they come. This is actually another one I bought when I bought the one I put together. And I thought it would be a nice little living room to go with the bedroom. Until I found out that it didn't fit the petite Blythe, so I haven't put it together, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I like this one because it has a little dog, watering the plants, and the other one was like the kitty was in the frame, so it's kind of a dog and a cat thing. This is how it looks on the back. It has a skylight, so it doesn't need a chandelier, right? But these were places where the lights would have gone through, and I just didn't do it because I got tired of it. And I made a mistake. I was supposed to put this wall over to the edge here and leave a little edge on the outside here. But like I said, I got excited when I got it originally and just started slamming things together. And once it's glued down, you can't move it. So I left it like it is. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it at this point. And you can't get these on AliExpress. I didn't get mine on AliExpress. I think I got them on Gadgets Galore. But they're on AliExpress, and I think they're maybe a little bit cheaper, if I remember correctly. So if you're interested and you have maybe a 1/12 doll, that might be something fun for you to do if you have lots of time and patience, which I don't have. But anyway, the first thing that got me interested in really collecting any type of miniature were these dogs. I go to a thrift shop fairly regularly that I like. They're very well organized, and they have a little miniature cabinet, and they're always adding things to it. It depends on whatever, donations are brought in at that week or whatever. And I started collecting the dogs. I just really like them. I like dogs in general, so the dog collecting was, I guess, a natural, but they have, an appeal to them. I think the tininess of them and everything is appealing. You've probably seen these poodles. I did use those, I think, in the diorama video, if you remember that one. So they can be used if you're, putting your dolls in a diorama and you want to, have a little sense of home, and you have a rug, put a dog on it, right? This little Yorkie is precious. I have Yorkies, of course, Belle and Bruno, so I had to have that one. And then I found these. These are actually more like china than just the ceramic, so they're pretty fragile, but I thought they were cute. They have the mom with the two babies chained to her so they can't get away. And they'll be cute to sort of pose them with dolls or however you want to use them. And then I found this little guy. I just see things I think are really funny and cute, and I thought I might use him in one of my petite Blythe houses as a toy. It's a little drummer boy, and let me get you in closer so you can see the detail. He's heavy. He's made, I think, out of pewter and then painted. And I think he would look like a cute toy in one of my petite habitats. So that's really why I purchased him. And all of these, are pretty cheap. They're like $1 or $2. So, and then so I have this little deer, which is a easily found miniature in most miniature sites, but they had one there for like 50 cents, so I got it. And it was in the Wood Sprite video that I did when I did that doll. Now these, it's kind of interesting when you go to the store. You kind of see how things come in, and it's like, okay, maybe somebody they stopped collecting something, and so they bring them all in, or maybe somebody's grandmother dies and she collected these things, and they're getting rid of her things or whatever. But it was obvious that somebody was collecting pictures, really small pictures. They had some that were a little larger. I wasn't very interested in those that were maybe like 3 inches. And these are, I think they're old. This says it's Polynesia on the bottom, which is an odd term anymore anyway. And maybe something during one of the great wars that a soldier brought home. I always think there's history behind these things, which makes them interesting too, especially the older things. So yeah, see something like this. I could use these with my dolls. The last time I went in Friday, somebody had brought in like a frog collection. It was like all these little miniature frogs. I'm not really interested in that, so I didn't get them. This one you may have seen before. I think when I did the diorama, I used it on the table for the dolls. It's a nice little, I think it's pewter, it's heavy, tea set, which is kind of unusual. I see a lot of the little china ones, but this is the only one like this I've seen. And so I purchased that. And then this doll I found on eBay. I was looking for little dolls to go in my Blythe house, like as a baby doll for the petite Blythe to have. And then when I got her, I'm like, well, I'm not going to put her in a petite Blythe house because she's too adorable. She's really tiny underneath that long christening gown, and she's painted rather well. I don't know how old she is. I don't really know much about her, but she was kind of an inexpensive little thing that I saw, and I like her. She's cute, so I got her. And when I did the porcelain doll videos, when I was doing the rehab, I talked about frozen Charlotte dolls, and that's what this is. And these were popular back at the turn of the century, and I'm talking 1800s to 1900s. And they were made in one piece. If they have movable joints, they're not a true frozen Charlotte doll. The story is that this came from a poem about a girl named Charlotte who went to a party in a sleigh one night, and she didn't want to put on a cloak to mess up her pretty dress. So when they arrived at the party, she was frozen. So that's how she gets the name. And there are a lot of these out there. Some of them are not all in one piece. If you'll notice, the back is not glazed. That was so that they a lot of times came with a bathtub, and the back was not glazed so that they would go into the bathtub, absorb water, and lay in the bath. And they were usually not painted very well. They might have better features underneath, but there's usually like 2 black dots for their eye, and it's a round red dot for their mouth and the hair. The hair paint didn't match, the hair mold or whatever, but there's something about them that I'm really fascinated by. And I was happy to find this at an antique shop, and if I find more, I'm going to pick them up. If they're not too expensive, I'm not going to pay a lot of money for them, but this one was $4, I believe. And something else I'm probably going to collect. That's the only one I have so far. I showed you these guys before. These are the boxes of the little petite Blythe doll that I'm going to use in some of my petite Blythe houses. And some other little odds and ends that I have that I may use for staging is this little cake. These are contemporary. These are not old. You can buy these at any miniature shop. But I like the little knitting thing with the scissors. Things like this sort of give the doll some character, like she sits around knitting or whatever. And also recently purchased some other items from Hand Flower Shop. And this is a little suitcase. Now this didn't come with a suitcase. This came separate. It's just a small plastic camera. I just wanted a camera for my Blythes, so they can go sightseeing. This did come, however, with these 4 little magazines or books, and they're all Blythe related, which is really appropriate, and they're kind of interesting. And it's metal. It has these fake, travel stickers on it, but that's kind of cute for a suitcase. And then this really nice little umbrella, which works, and it's perfect Blythe size. So, like I said, it works. You can put it up and maybe have a rainy day picture. And the thing that impressed me the most, however, was this guitar. I didn't really know that it came with a case. I don't know why. I probably didn't read it very correctly, but I'd been wanting a little guitar. And so then I found it, bought it. It came with this case. It came with this little stand. So when you have it out of the case, you can prop it up and show it off. And the quality of the case and the guitar are really superb. I mean, it's just really beautiful detailed work. It looks like a real guitar for every purpose. The frets, everything. It's not painted. Everything is actually little, individual things on the guitar. So I was really, really happy with that purchase. And once again, that will be a nice prop for my Blythe dolls. And I found this bench, which now that I have it, I think it's probably more midi size than neo size. And but it's good quality. It's wood. You just pop the ends on, pop the seat on in the back, and it was easy to put together. You didn't have to glue it or anything. Just stuck together. And then they gave me this balloon group thing as a free present. That was kind of cute. Those people from Ally always send you something free, usually. And a lot of the Etsy shops do too. And these dogs came from Ally. I wanted all of my petite Blythe houses that I make to have a pet in them. And so I ordered these because they're plastic. I don't want to give away my ceramic pets. These have cat. I think there's like one cat, and then the rest are different types of dogs. And if you remember, the petite house that I showed you in one video did have one of those dogs in it, sitting beside the ottoman. And I think the whole batch was like $2 or something. It was really, really cheap. So that was a nice purchase. Of course, you have to wait like 8 weeks to get them, but that's okay. Now, I wanted to share this with you. This is from an Etsy seller that I'm just fascinated with. The shop is called Fairly Fairy Mad. That's hard to say. It's hard for me to say that fast. Fairly Fairy Mad. Okay. But it has nice detail with the flowers and the little knobs painted, the way it's painted and everything. And all these little miniatures. These things are not easy to find, I'm telling you. They're not easy to find. And just was really fascinated to see how this was all put together and all the different things that are on it. And she has a lot of these little cabinets filled with miniatures. You know, I'd love to have all of them, but I can't afford them all right now. I may buy more later. But if you're interested, you just to go over and look and admire. I'll leave the link to her Etsy shop in the description box below. And you could go over and say hi and just take a look at all the different things she has, because I just like looking at them. It's really adorable. And at first I thought, well, I'm going to use this and make a little petite Blythe house or something. And this was all before I made the actual petite Blythe house. So now I still have to do something with this guy for my Blythe, but I'll end up maybe making a little room diorama or something and using that in it. Oh, and I wanted to show you this guy. I made this right before I had my hand surgery, and it's not super well made, I don't think. I just was sitting one night watching television, and I had this fake fur, and I just started sewing the thing together. But I think it turned out really kind of cute. It's got some charisma or something. I don't know. Do you think so? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this and liked looking at these things. When I get this cast off next week, I've got a really big show planned for you, a big surprise. So stay tuned and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.